So, without further ado, we will start with the first speech, and that we will hear about how to develop intelligent apps for the modern workspace. And I hear it will be full of demos, so it will be super exciting. Great. So I will please welcome to the stage Martina Grom, CEO at @Work, and Tony Pohl, CTO at @Work. Please give a big round of applause.
So good morning, everybody. My name is Martina Grom. I'm really glad to be here to tell you a personal story about me. I started my career in the IT community 20 years ago here at Microsoft Big Days. And I was kind of involved with the community, and I was an attendee like you were. And today in the morning, it was really hard for me to come here and say, okay, I'm today on the stage speaking to developers and speaking to a community I really like.
So with that, good morning from my side. My name is Tony Pohl. I'm a developer, as you are, or most of you are, and we have a very nice session prepared for you with a lot of demos. So we don't have 200 slides, only 20. No, some slides. The rest will be demos. I hope it's going well.
What we will talk today about is developing intelligent applications in the modern workplace. And this is the main topic we discovered in the last couple of years around what is going on in the workplace, what is going on with digitalization. And the 3 points we will have in the next 22 minutes or 28 minutes is why is there a trend for AI in organizations, and why is that important for an organization? And then we will show you demonstrations how you can use intelligent cloud services, and which helps you in your productivity and also in the way you work with. And then we will also show how collaboration and AI are interacting together and working together, and what that means for us. So why do we need intelligent apps in the workplace? The main thing we see here from an intelligent app perspective is that we have a lot of data to process every day, every single day. We have a lot of topics to learn about. We have a lot of things we need to consume on a day-to-day basis. We work together in teams. We work together with other persons. And we need kind of intelligent services and intelligent apps to be there. So one of the main topics is, and that raised in the last couple of years tremendously, is that we are fighting a decreasing attention span. We try to do multitasking all day, looking in our phones, tweeting, checking emails, looking there. And managers have also, from a statistical perspective, the attention span is decreasing. So what we also see here is that we have to spend a lot of our time in searching content all the time. From a statistical perspective, it's 20%. From my personal impression, it's 80%. I'm looking for information the whole day. Information is my life now. This is what I'm doing. What's with you, Tony, with your attention span?
Pardon? What did you say?
Yeah. Have you tweeted already?
No, I need to do that.
And also what we also learned about that, we get more and more data. We are data collectors. We are storing everything for no reason. We are collecting anything. We are tweeting while on stage. We do other things. We also have a lot of content which needs to be processed by ourselves, and what we can do there. And the third part is the industry itself is investing a lot in intelligent tech. And this is also something we discovered there. How can AI help us? And how can we process that? And how can we work with that? And how is it a supportive industry? My focus is cloud services since 10 years ago. And believe me, when I started with that in 2008, I got a lot of feedback from others. They said, first of all, Martina, you will never earn money with that. It's your private hobby. Even my beloved colleagues said that to me. They said, okay, you will never earn money with that, do that, because nobody will go ever in the cloud, into cloud services. And what I learned in the last 10 years is if you are passionate and if you do what you like and if you work in topics you love, you will be also successful in doing that. And also what we learned in the last couple of years when AI came into the space is some people say it's dangerous for us, and other people see the opportunities you get from artificial intelligence and how you do that. And this is also something which is quite important. So how can that help us? If we go into machine learning and AI, what are the main topics? How can they help us? And what we see here is we get support in operations on a day-to-day basis. We get reminders, we have an assistant who makes our schedules, we can find times together, and so on. And then we also see that from consuming the content from that point of way, it's very easy for us to consume it directly out of the cloud. And this is an ongoing discussion. Why am I doing that? Can I do that on premises? Can my solution scale on premises the same way like it scales in the cloud? And is that true as well? And also from a personal experience, I'm pretty much very deep into social media because I like to share knowledge and I like to learn from others. And when that began a couple of years ago, it was like connect everything to everything. Connect your Facebook account to Instagram, to WhatsApp, to Twitter, do everything. Everything is automated as well. And this is also something which is quite important, and this is also the first thing I want to show you, is I have a digital assistant, and the digital assistant helps me to follow up on emails. And how does that work? It works with Cortana, name it Google, name it Siri, no matter what. But I've connected my machine to Cortana. She looks into my calendar, she reads my email, and then she says, okay, dear Martina, you have 200 unread emails per day. You will probably forget something. So I send you a heads-up information and say, okay, there's something you need to do. You need to configure in there. And you can very easily configure that directly out of Windows 10 and Office 365. And the next one, and this is where we start with the demos, is we are also showing how you can use bots in helping you in the technology and work there. So let's head over first to the demonstration. Let's check. Yeah, that works. I'm here in Microsoft Teams. I don't know if you ever saw that in the last days. And this is a very helpful tool for us to be in a communication with our teammates. It helps us reducing communication email-wise. So it helps us communication in the team and so on. But from a machine perspective, it's also very important that we go there and say, okay, what can we do and how can machine learning help us? And there is a bot built into Teams, and it's called the Who bot. And the Who bot can answer me questions about life, about me, about others, about colleagues in my organization. So, and I'm already in here. And what I can do, I can start very simple with a query, who am I? And what happens there, that if I lost sense in life, I get an information. What am I? What is my personal number? And so on. But this is probably not interesting enough, so I can also go and ask for other people in my organizations. So, for instance, I can just ask, who is Jane? Who is Jane, and who does she work with? So one of the examples here is, we have no Jane.
But Julie, maybe?
Who is Adele? Do we have Adele?
I think we have Adele, yeah.
Okay, let's check
I
that.
think without we, only Adele.
Yeah.
So we are not that familiar with our demo tenant. We don't know all the persons we're working with.
Yeah. So what I see here, I can look up Adele, and I see, I think I looked up her alias instead of the name. So what I see here is Adele. She's a retail manager, and what else can Hubot tell me? I can go into the org chart and see who is working with her, and what is she doing here, and who's she reporting with, and what's her manager, and so on. I can also go there and do a skill search. So, for instance, I'm a multinational, and I want to look at people in my organization who knows about Azure. Suppose I'm writing Azure. And here you see I get also the information from the Hubot back. Who are the persons in the organization who knows about marketing and who can work with that? And that means I can look up those persons, and the Hubot helps me finding the right person when I do a skill search in there. So how does this information come from? And this information comes from Microsoft Graph. And Microsoft Graph will be introduced by Tony.
Okay, so if you're developing applications on your side, you want to get services or want to use services where get such kind of information like Martina showed here in the Hubot. The Hubot is one interface, so you can develop a bot, you can develop your own application, a website, whatever it might be. If you're working with Microsoft Office 365, you have the benefit of using this kind of technology. That's the Microsoft Graph. So it's the same system we have artificial intelligence is using. We have a lot of nodes, and the nodes are connected. For example, what I get in here is, okay, I'm working on specific documents. Who else is working on these documents? And this information you can get out of Graph. Or, for example, who is contributing? With whom do I write emails and all of that stuff? Who is also a member of my groups, my projects, my teams I'm working with? So all these questions can be answered and can be accessed through the Microsoft Graph. So the Microsoft Graph is your key to the Office 365 world. It also is integrated in Windows Timeline, which is a feature of Windows 10. So your application, for example, can write to the Windows Timeline so that the user looks in Timeline and sees, okay, yesterday I worked with that app and with that record. You click on the record and you come back to your application. So it really shall support the user. And I want to show you how this works in real life. So this is the concept, and I want to start here with this wonderful browser and go to, let me increase that a little bit here, to, whoops, a little bit hard with the desk here. So aka-ms/graph, so that's the starting point. If you want to develop your own applications using this technology, so this is a little bit too large here. Okay, and one of the features, so here you can see when getting started, what kind of programming languages can I use for accessing the Microsoft Graph? And the good answer is any programming languages, but there are SDKs for the programming languages you see here. So you can access the REST endpoint, and I will show you that in a second, with the Graph Explorer, or you can download an SDK, a NuGet package or something like this, and access the graph with one of these packages, with one of these libraries. The good thing here is we have the Graph Explorer, and the Graph Explorer is a kind of tool to play around with the graph. So the first thing I want to do here, I want to sign in with my own identity to access my own organization's data and not demo data. So sign in, I'm already signed in here with that user. And this is how it technically works. You can see there's a REST interface. That's the unified endpoint, graphmicrosoft.com. I'm authenticated. This is an OAuth 2 authentication. And now I can start asking questions from that graph, what we saw in the Hubot. So I can say run query, and I get back a result, which is below here. Oops, a little bit. So, and this is a JSON object. I get back, okay, this is information about the logged-in user. So we currently have the permission to sign in and to get information out of that graph. The interesting part here is what I can do. I can, for example, go to persons. Oops, maybe without sizing, people. let's take people if it's suggested. Run the query here, and you see I get back another result, and this result informs me, and this is powered by machine learning, with which persons am I working with. So with which persons am I emailing, who are reading my documents, and so on. And the good part here, it's an OData interface, so you can go here and say, select, I'm not interested in all of the features, I'm just interested in the ID, the display name, and let's say the email, the user principal name or something like this. And let's run that query. And there's also a scored email address. Just want to show you that feature here. I hope I have no typo, but let's see. OK, now I get back the persons I'm working with. And these persons are, for example, Megan Bowen. And you can see it has a relevance score of 610, which means I'm contributing with that person a lot. Or with Martina Grom, with a very low relevance score, and so on. And there are also groups or rooms or other resources in here as well. So that's a very nice point. You don't have to develop that for your own. You can simply ask the graph with these kind of questions. It also has, depending on the permissions, access to calendar items, emails, planner, tasks, and so on. So that's really your key to the Office 365 world. So for example, if I say I'm not interested in the people, thank you. But I'm interested in, whoops, again, I'm always fighting with increasing the size. So messages.
Do you want my reading glasses?
Next time. OK, so now I get back the messages, the emails of that person, and so on. That's just to show you the idea how you can use this technology here. You can also search about topics, what we did with the WhoBot, if you want to develop such a feature in your own applications. And you can see there are some samples here. And I'm interested in, it's somewhere here, people. And then I get samples for that. People I work with, so we already saw that. But you can also search for people relevant to a specific topic. And here you can see the topic. In that case, it's our company. It's called Contoso, but I can also say what we did in the WhoBot. Show me all the people who are working on the topic marketing, Microsoft Azure, Office 365. And this is exactly what powers the WhoBot, what we saw before. So this is the technical approach to get that kind of data out of it. OK, so with that, I think we switch gears a little bit and come to the next topics. And the next topics here, we've seen the graph demo, is you can use AI and other services from the cloud as well. So I have this wonderful slide here. There is more. You can also use artificial intelligence services out of the cloud very easily. And I want to show you how this works. So with that, I have a small experiment for you. I hope everybody of you has a Twitter account. I just created this PandaDev hashtag. So if you have a Twitter account, please feel free to tweet a positive or a negative tweet with that hashtag PandaDev. It doesn't mean anything. I just found that the picture is so cute. So I used it for my PandaDev example. We want to collect all these tweets during the next minutes and want to do a sentiment analysis out of it with artificial intelligence.
Don't be too negative.
OK, with that, what else can I do with artificial intelligence services? For example, you can get information out of media files, like, for example, from pictures, like you can do an OCR recognition, or you can automatically transcribe a video you upload. And I want to show how to use that. So it's interesting for users as well as for developers. So let's go back to our demo. And let's see what's my next demo here. Yeah, let's switch to my other browser. And here I'm another identity. That's my alter ego. That's Nestor Wilke. And this is OneDrive. So that's on cloud space of Nestor. And I've uploaded some images here. So let's have a look. Again, let's close that. That's simply a list of files. And here I have a folder called Media. And if I switch to the tiles view, you will see that there's some images in here. And I did nothing here except uploading some pictures. And some pictures are, for example, let me show you that, this invoice here, it's called Rising Us. So if I click on that, I see the picture and what's on that. So that was, we had lunch or so. And if I click on the info button here, and scroll down a little bit, there's the more details. Look what happened here automatically. You can see the extracted text of that image, and this happened within OneDrive. So there was no interaction from me or nothing I need to connect or so. It was done automatically using cognitive services out of the cloud. So this is a benefit that OneDrive saw, okay, there's some text in that picture, I extract the text, and you can see it's relatively good readable, although it's just a picture made from a desk. So that's one feature I really like, and the same goes for other samples. So
and one of the main benefits here, it's searchable. So you can also extract, through the text extraction, you can search for the content in the file.
And it also understands such complicated text. I did take a picture in April 2014. We got at some conference, which was in Austin, a small device or so. And this was simply a very nice sheet we got. And you can see that AI also discovered what's on that sheet here. And it's very good readable and discoverable. So that's the thing, the power of using such cognitive services as the Microsoft Cognitive Services, and it's built into Office 365. I did nothing for doing that. The second thing, it also works with videos, so let me go to Stream here. And we have a similar thing here. Stream is another Office 365 service from Office 365. And you can upload videos here. And the benefit when using Stream is that, as the name says, it streams down your video. You don't have to download it to watch it. You can stream it to any device and render it on any device. So if I go to my content and to the videos here, you will see that there are some videos. So like Azure Application Insight, that's a very short video here. And I uploaded this I think 2 days ago or so, or 3 days ago. And you can see on the right side, you can see this transcript. And this happened automatically. It analyzed the video, analyzed the text, and gave me what's the content of that video automatically. And the thing is, for example, if I go here to the transcript and search for resource, and search, you will find all the places in that video where the word resource is used. And you can see, okay, it happened at 7 minutes and 30 seconds, for example. In that case, it wasn't, which is that slide, it was used, so the presenter here, she used the word resource. It was detected, and now I can search for that, and that's very powerful, very helpful to get an overview or to search for specific data, and this happens automatically in Microsoft Streams.
And these transcripts are currently available in English and Spanish, so no German yet, but it's really useful. It takes some time to extract the transcript out of the video if it's a longer video, but it all happens automatically. And you can also edit afterwards and enhance it with additional information if you need that.
If you want to play around with other samples, simply go to that wonderful URL. It's called codepen.io, and it's a web page consisting of a lot of JavaScript samples. And one of the samples, if I search for alt text here, there's one sample using these cognitive services as well, which is that one here. And this is also a playground. You can use it anonymously. Well, I can't pronounce that word. So, yeah, thank you. I can't pronounce that.
Try it again.
So let's maximize this JavaScript image here. And the interesting part here, we have a demo page. So again, I can go in here, go to some pictures, take a nice picture. Let's say here I took a black and white picture to analyze this. Let's see what the cognitive services make out of that, and you can see the result here. It detected the person who is in that picture. It said that's Heidi Lamar. I simply took that picture from Google, wanted to see if the algorithm detects it, and how does it work technically. Well, it's similar to what we saw with the graph. There's an endpoint here, West Central, US, API, cognitive, blah, blah, blah. And here you can see that this picture is uploaded and sent with a specific key, so I'm for authentication, and then I get the data out of that service easily. And it detects a lot of very cool stuff. So celebrities are detected very well. So this is a picture from one of my favorite movies. It's called Con Air. It's so stupid. And that person, it says a man holding a gun. This service here doesn't show all of the details which are coming back from the cognitive services, but in another detail there's, which is not presented here, it says that's John Malkovich out of a movie scene. So that's also a very nice playground. Okay, let's come back to our last demos here. Also,
Have you tweeted yet?
I hope so. So this is a SharePoint list. And in that SharePoint list, I wanted to use cognitive services for specific things. So first of all, I needed, or I've already opened Flow here somewhere, manage your flows. I've created a flow, which is also part of Office 365. In the Azure world, it would be a logic app. And that flow here collects tweets, which is this one, tweets pandadev to SharePoint. Let's have a look into that. And it's a very easy to use flow. So you can see, OK, when a new tweet appears, it's my connection to Twitter. And then I want to detect the sentiment. What's the message? Is it a positive message or is it a negative message? And when I'm done, when I'm using that cognitive service, I create a list, an item in that SharePoint list. And here you can see the fields of Twitter. And one of the fields here, the sentiment, is the score. This is what comes back from the cognitive service saying, OK, is it positive or negative? So let's go back to my list here. So or maybe first to the flow and see if it did run or when it did run. So here you can see the history of that. So 1 minute ago, you can see, or there have been, it did execute some time ago. And one of the flows here failed, which was 2 minutes ago. Maybe there was some information missing from the tweet or something like that. But anyway, we got also some succeeded. So let's have a look at the result. Go to our tweets demo list. Let me refresh that. And we will see that we now have a list of tweets. For example, that one 2 minutes ago. So much panda romance, and so on. So thanks for the tweets here, sophisticated panda dev, etc. And the interesting part here is we used cognitive services, and we got a score, which is here, a sentiment. And you can see it goes from 0 to 1. 1 means very positive, 0 means very negative. Neutral is 0.5, like that tweet here. So let's have WeAreDevelopers AI conference, for example, and we will see the tweet. That was a neutral tweet based on our cognitive service. WeAreDevelopers feels like a large Microsoft sales event. Perfect, very neutral.
Thanks, Robert.
What we want to improve that a little bit, that list here. So we use cognitive services. We used Flow. It took just some minutes to create that, to have that data in that list here. I want to format it a little bit nicer so that we see a picture of the person who tweeted it. So column settings,
so that we can
column.
identify Robert.
And I've prepared that with the profile picture. We want to see that and don't want only see the URL of the person. Okay, looks relatively neutral. Okay, let's save that. And we also give a little bit more weight to the sentiment here. So let's go here to the column settings, format this column as well. And I've also prepared a JSON description for that as well. So let's take that here and paste it into my column formatting here. Okay, now it's a little bit better to see what have been positive tweets, what have been negative tweets. Microsoft sucks, for example, that's definitely negative. So sentiment analysis was right. Thanks for these tweets. And we did it also here for other hashtags like WeAreDevelopers or Flow. And you can get out really a sentiment analysis very easily by using such services. So with that tool set of Microsoft Graph or using cognitive services, which is another endpoint, you can consume such information, artificial intelligence, machine learning, out of the cloud very easily.
We are running out of time.
We are running out of time, so this is my last thing. If you want to play around with that here, we have this wonderful slide here. I want to show you that. That's also a very nice playground. There's a guy called Asim Hussain. He's working for Microsoft, and he's in the Microsoft Artificial Intelligence team, and he created such a service using similar technologies what we've used. And you can send a tweet with the hashtag Mojify, and what happens if you add a picture, you get something out like this. So I sent over a picture some time ago, and it recovers or it detects your emotion and replaces your face with a smiley, depending on the expression of your face. So that's a very nice playground for that. Okay, with that, we are out of time. The key session takeaways from our side is have a look at the cloud services, have a look at machine learning, have a look at Graph, Microsoft Graph and cognitive services. That's a very nice playground. It can be used for line of business apps, as we have seen with the Hoopbot, for example. For your own applications, it can also be a nice playground for other services, what we've seen here in the past with the demos. A last message from our side. We are based here in Vienna. We are hiring, so if you're a developer looking for new opportunities, here's a nice address, and we are looking for persons who want to be creative, want to develop creative apps. So with that.
And if you have any additional questions, please tweet them or ask them. We are here today in the morning, and I hope you will have a nice remaining conference. Are there any questions we need to address?
So thank you a lot.
Thank you a lot.